Thank you, Sebin. So next we are moving to our Q&A session. So if you have any questions related to our international mission, our Haiti mission, or the October mission month, so this is the time. So you can use the Slido. Before that, I'm going to call Sindhuji, Raiji Chetan, Brian, and Anthony to the stage.
Our panel members, please come forward. So there's only 4 questions asked so far. This will be a really short Q&A session. So if you want to go to slido.com and change that, you have 1 minute. There's only 4 questions about mission, and there's over 100 people here.
So who will read the question?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so first question goes to you. So you have the mic.
What is the first question?
The first question is, can you share about what you give through mission?
Yeah, that is already, I'm sure Sindhu Jaji is going to answer that question.
Did you hear the question?
There's a question is like this. I know that question because most of the time we are sharing, we have received this kind of things through mission. And back when the person who wrote the question really wants to know what we give to the mission. That's the question.
So the question was, we always talk about, it's the way I understand it. We always talk about in our mission gatherings that, we gain so much by going on a mission. But what is it that we have given to the mission? So when I thought about it, the first thing that came to my mind was Jesus telling us how to do mission. He said, love one another as I have loved you. Like that. So it's a big thing. I'm not boasting that any of us have done that much, but we are trying in our little ways to lay down our life. You all know that it's not easy to go on a mission when you have a family or even a student, whatever it is. We have umpteen number of things at home to take care of. So we have to lay down something to go. So we do that in many different ways, depending upon the grace that we are given at that moment and also our desire. So the Lord multiplies. So some of the things that I can think is like, I'm very closely related to Haiti mission. So what I can think about what was happening in Haiti through Jesus Youth involvement is like, it took some time. We were doing so many humanitarian, we started by doing humanitarian activities there, even though there were a lot of prayer before that. When we started doing that, there wasn't any direct proclamation of word as such, but the people there knew through our frequent going there and also seeing our full-timers who live there, studying their language, learning the culture, and living like one of them. They, even though they had their own reservations, and their one desire was to get things to satisfy their momentary needs, but over time, they really understood why we do what we do. So it was some of them who told us, like after a few years, you have to share this with the community, why you do what you do. So they wanted to know more about the movement, and to our surprise, they told us, like, they want to be Jesus Youth. They want to become like us. So I think that this happened through the witnesses of all the people who have been there, and especially people who were there for longer times. So one thing that we have given them is definitely the life witnesses that we all carried in different ways. Through our lives and through the little things that we were able to do. So our mission, the medical mission, was never known as medical mission. We wanted to call it like a healing mission, where we want to bring Christ the healer. So even when we were, taking care of patients and their temporal needs, we also thought that it is the word that is going to heal them and to bring them, to the fullness of the human dignity. So praying over them and also praying with them was one thing that we could do even during those missions. And also during these healing missions, we also started giving health education classes. We know that through all these, their life, we were trying to change their life situations or the way they are living or their lifestyles. So that is one thing, at least some people have benefited from our missions there through our humble ministry, like, having a healthy lifestyle, or even there were so many natural family planning classes and things like that they have never ever heard about. So those things they benefited. And one thing that I can say for sure that they themselves have told us is like the way the Lord gave us the grace to treat them, that is with dignity. It's not like we never gave them so many material goods. Of course, we have been doing through after Lumen Vitae came, but our first missions and all, we were not keen on giving too many things to them, but we gave them the dignity. I would like to say, like, we felt like they are our brothers and sisters, and that's what that simple thought kept us going again and again to that country. Because when we are back here, I know that for every person who have gone there had that unrest in their heart, like, that we are missing out something. We are missing a part of our body there. So that kept us going there again and again. So this is kind of a relationship that came through that union that we had with the body of Christ, that treating them with dignity and accepting them as our own brothers and sisters. And most of the people in the parish know us by name. We know them by name, and we could see even the youth, growing up in front of us. So through this mission, these are some of the things that we could do. And also another thing is like, education. Education, we know that since I come from, when I think about my childhood, I know that the Christian missionaries have brought this education to Kerala, and the education has played a big role in the upliftment of our communities. So when we look to Haiti, that is something that we are trying to bring into that community. You want to add?
Yeah, maybe just from the other side, if I understand the question correctly, it's, what can you give? And I think a lot of times we think like, the problems are so vast, what do we do? How can we actually give something? But I've seen so many amazing witnesses of people in this room, give something in their very unique way. Remia and Jamie, they spent weeks at a time at the Missionaries of the Poor, where there's totally disabled, handicapped children, getting them to do certain exercises. Arun, who's amazingly talented with video, came and helped make a video so that more people can understand about the mission. Franco actually, when he was there, he taught the guitar to the person that was translating him, and that guy is still playing guitar, and he wants to play guitar for our Jesus Youth gatherings now. Last month, Sony came to Haiti for a teacher's retreat, and he was ministering to people who were teachers in his same profession. So I would say that, don't think that you don't have something to give, but I would say the most difficult and the most rare thing that we find is a yes. The thing that is the most difficult to find are people who can say yes. And it's also the most rare thing to find are people who can say yes. But if you could give that yes, you think about Christianity, it all started with that yes. It's not about Mary thinking about the burden of being Jesus' mother and all these kind of things. But from her yes, everything unfolded. So from the same way, don't worry about your talents, your skills, any of that thing. What are you going to do there? Start with the yes, and then let the Lord lead you.
Thank you, Brian.
And not directly answer to this question, but I just want to say, based on these two sharings, and the mission is, it's a kind of a mutual exchange each other. And why I'm saying this, my visit in Haiti, we went to one of the houses of a girl, she's studying in a school, and when we reached at the single room house, we saw the mother, how she welcomed us. The situation, she has only one brother, that one brother is mentally sick, and he was locked with a chain on the cot in that house, And even with this situation, and we didn't recognize that thing from the face of that girl when we met her till we reached that house. First thing. Second thing, and how joyfully this mother was thanking God for what they are today. And I'm sure I can't do that. But I'm trying to say it was a strong learning point for me from them, from that mother, from that little sister of mine whom I met in Haiti. What I'm trying to say is this is both ways. It is exchange, faith, convictions, and us in the Gigi and both of them said, when we visit them, they are also respecting our visit, and it is really helping them because the people are visiting them as their own family members, not as a just tourister visiting them.
Yeah, I want to say one more thing. Like, there is the one boy there who is now working with the Lumen Vitae team, Jonathan. And he is an extremely intelligent boy, very capable. He could have gone to so many other professions that is very lucrative, and he even got selected to that. But he chose to work with Lumen Vitae for some time with a lesser salary. And, I don't know why he did that, but nobody would do such stuff. But he did that because definitely he got inspired by seeing many people from here going there and committing their life for their own people, and it definitely inspired him to take such a decision. It is very unlikely for things like that to see in Haiti, especially where people really esteem money. And I know his family, like they definitely need money. He's the man of the house, a boy in his early 20s doing such stuff for the community. Definitely the movement has inspired, and he calls himself a Jesus youth now. So praise God for such thing. It's the work of the Lord.
Okay, we're going to have a no more mic passing. One mic, one person. But thank you for answering that. That was very extensive. We have a couple more questions to go over. Yeah, but now there's okay, anyway. So this is for you, Brian. Can you quickly explain Lumen Vitae? Or actually, specifically, how can people get involved in Lumen Vitae?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. So, from the earlier days in 2014 and 15, we were trying to figure out how is it that we can support the people. One of the most difficult things is when people are in dire poverty, there's so many needs that they have, water, food, housing, so many things. And so at that time, a few G's who discerned that, education was something that was definitely worth investing in, because you're help building a future for them versus giving them something temporary, even though they really do need it. So, we started supporting 25 people and different full-timers were helping facilitate it. And then, we realized that actually the Lord was calling us to support more children and really kind of through the education, bring the gospel into their lives. Because otherwise, we didn't clearly have a way to get into the communities and stuff. But as we were sharing earlier, charity is a good first step. We can't stay at charity, but when so many people are in need, the fact that we as a community of people could support their education is a great endeavor. So in a sense, Lumen Vitae is, one of the charitable arms of Jesus Youth where we support these poor children in their education. So when we support them, we give them, their tuition, then we give them some spending money for their materials, which, covers their books and their bags. We don't cover everything because, obviously we have a certain amount. It's $30 a month that we ask for from sponsors. So, nowadays the inflation in Haiti is so bad that they still actually have to buy several books and things on their own, just because after inflation, it's just not possible. But in that sense, we're journeying with them, we're walking with them, and the idea is that, we expose them to Jesus Youth, we expose them to the gospel. From a young age, we start meeting with them. So the teenagers, the high schoolers, and the young adults that we're discipling on a monthly basis, they're entering into like a mentorship role for our children. So it's kind of building this system where, you know, with the kids who are receiving, you know, the fruits of faith from us, they're also passing those along in smaller way to the children that we support. So
Thank you, Ryan.
how can people, say it again?
I was saying can we?
And how can people
okay.
be involved? You know, definitely the hardest part of it is finding sponsors. So whether God is calling you to sponsor, or even better, maybe helping find people to sponsor, that's easily the hardest need. And then, you know, right now the people in Haiti do an amazing job. In America, you know, we could always use more help with certain administrative roles, writing, you know, blogging, all those kind of things. So, you know, really depending on the talents, if you can commit maybe, you know, 3 hours a week, it would greatly help in so many different ways. So, and even if you can't commit 3 hours a week, and maybe you have some time off in the summer, or you know, things that are more oriented towards education, you know, we could definitely discover those opportunities.
Thank you. The next question is for Raiju. If I'm going through interior difficulty, how can I discern if I need to remain steady for mission, or if it's a time to take for healing, formation, silence?
And definitely you should not leave your problems or your struggles unattended. Definitely you have to take help from other people, but don't wait for that to solve the issue for your mission. It is in two ways. One is, if you are planning to do something as a project for a mission and a long thing, definitely it is good that you pause and you just go for take some steps towards the issue which you are going through. That is definitely good. But at the same time, when you are in struggle, somebody is coming to you in a very difficult situation, and you are the only person in front of that person, and you don't want to say that, hey, I am in a struggle, I don't want to help you. No, that's a moment the Lord is bringing you a person, definitely with the help of God, because it is not your situation, it is not your ability, it is not your skill which is going to help that person. It is the Lord who is going to use you. So respond to that situation with the trust in the Lord, and the Lord will definitely use you. And maybe that is the way how the Lord is going to heal you also in your struggle where you are going through. And it is in both ways. Sometimes, definitely, for some situation, when you are going through struggle, definitely you can take some pause mode and you can take a step to attend to the issue. It is not necessary that you should get it solved completely, but make sure that you are seriously addressing. But in another way, when spontaneously things are coming to you and you are the only person there, definitely you trust the Lord and respond regarding the mission I am talking about. And you have to respond to the situation.
Thank you very much. The next one's for Anthony, Dr. Anthony. Whichever. This one's a quick one. Can you share the scheduled mission trips to Haiti?
I think so. November 2nd to 9th is our healing mission, and anyone 21 years and above, medical, non-medical, are more than welcome to come. So it is a 1-week mission trip. It's Saturday to Saturday for those of you who haven't gone. We arrive there on Saturday. Sunday, we usually go to our main mission site, which is Camp Karai. It's a church called Mission St. Thomas. It's run by the missionaries of St. Charles Borromeo, the same congregation that Father Isaiah is from. And we spend Mass with them, visit the houses, get to know the people, and invite them for the mission. And then Monday and Tuesday are our main mission days at the Camp Karai. And during that day, we'll be involved with bringing Christ to the people through different ways. So that will involve taking care of their medical needs, health education, praying with them, and just being with them as well. And then Wednesday is our day of retreat. Thursday and Friday, we visit 2 other communities. And Saturday, you guys get to come back home. But we only have a November mission planned of now. We'll probably, Haiti's been through some political environment changes that it wasn't safe at a certain point for us to take people from the United States, but now things seem to have calmed down. and so we're going back to our regular schedule. So I think so we're planning for more like in the spring break, maybe a youth exposure mission and summer mission as well.
I think regarding this, tomorrow we'll be able to give you a little more clarity on some of the possibilities tomorrow. And what I'm saying is definitely we will create something tomorrow where people can respond your interest to go to mission, because other than the medical mission, there are some different programs are happening sometimes, and the team will choose some of the people from your response who can help in different programs and things like that. So I think we will make some good proposals tomorrow where you can get more opportunity to connect with the mission.
Thank you.
If you fill up an interest form in the website, we'll contact you.
Okay, so this question is mic passing is allowed. So each of you have to answer. So each of you have to answer a personal, inspiring moment that drew them closer to a life of mission. And let's keep it maybe 3 minutes. 3 minutes is too much? 1 minute each.
Is there any other question?
Is there any other question?
No. Is there any other question other than this?
Well, I'm getting, okay, let me see.
Yeah, we have to answer that question first priority, and this is a personal sharing. We can get it.
Okay, there's a different question for you then. New one, hot off the press. Ask about, so the question for you is about the 1 month mission.
Yeah, I think tomorrow we are just giving a little more idea on 1 month mission and the proposals. We already had some little discussion. Tomorrow there is a presentation.
Okay. Wow. We should clap for that one. That was so, so fast. Okay, the next question, I think it's for anyone on the panel. How can I get involved without going abroad in mission?
Without going abroad.
Yeah,
Okay.
without leaving the country.
And I don't know, you saw the presentations here when Anthony was doing the presentation here. There are different possibilities. Definitely praying for the mission, and not simply you are praying, but you make your prayer visible. Visible means just commit, take your prayer commitment, and just that the team knows about it, because they know that these people are praying. So that's one way, the prayer you can do for mission. And second thing, definitely some supports. Financial support, they already told you, because we need financial support for all these missions. And Lumen Vida is one other thing, and also other mission trips, we need financial help. And we are also planning to support some other elder kids also for their education and things like that. For all this, we need money support. And the third thing, if you are not able to go for mission abroad, we can find slowly, I think the mission team is working on that. Definitely we can find out some of the ways where you can contribute your times in some mission inside the United States. That's one way. And you can find some missions around you wherever you are by your own. So that's the way how you will get inspired and formed for the missions, maybe in the longer term, abroad or somewhere else. And there are other things. And definitely the mission team needs more help for the people for different ways, using different talents for the mission activities, or giving awareness about the mission to all our Java network and all those things. You can be connected to it. You want to add something?
Yeah, maybe just to add on and reiterate. Actually, I'm not adding on, just reiterating. I think sometimes we think that, Haiti and going abroad and going to a poor country is the only avenue for mission. And, like Richard said today, the greatest poverty that exists today is the poverty of not knowing Jesus. It's the poverty of the gospel. So, if we only think that mission is only done when we get on a plane and go to Haiti, then, that's a wrong point. And obviously, going to Haiti helps us because it's a bit more concrete and tangible experience. So definitely not, what I'm trying to say is, the greatest need is for people to know Jesus Christ. And there's mission on your campuses, in your hospitals, maybe in your own homes, maybe in your own extended families. But, those we know because we're a missionary where we are. But, for us in South Florida, going to Haiti is convenient, but maybe, for Los Angeles or all the places in the West, it may not be. Maybe there's, I know Chicago, they were going to North Dakota for some time, and doing mission to the Native American tribes over there. But don't think that we only go to simply poor places overseas, and that's what mission is, because that would be a big mistake.
Oh.
This is a mail from Father Tom. I don't know, it will make confusion, but I just want to read this. Where is my specs? Because Jilu sent a mail to JYCC, a group of key leaders of all over the world in Jesus Youth Movement, saying about this gathering and requesting prayers for this gathering. And Father Thomas Tarail wrote like this: Dear Jilu and Java USA, my prayers are with you. Wonderful initiative at the eve of the extraordinary mission month. It was my simple dream when I was there to spread the Java mission to the homeland missions in the US itself. There are some areas in the US which are really missionary in nature, like Utah, UTAH. I will spell DAKOTTA, Dakota, and some areas of California, Texas, etc. Just think of possibilities of reaching out to those people and areas. Wish you all the best. May the Lord of missions guide you. Father Thomas Tarail.
Thank you. I'm going to also answer this question myself. Once upon a time, I lived in Canada, and me and my friend, fellow JY, we just hopped in a car and we drove 4,000 miles across Canada, went to different cities and did our own mission. So you don't have to really think this too hard. If you have a desire within you to do mission within the country, you can do it. It's totally possible. So just go for it. Just plan it out, talk to somebody, make sure it's not a crazy idea, and then just hop in a car and go. That's it. Okay, so this is the last question. It's open to anyone on the panel. How does one take mission and balance responsibilities and roles that we have in our lives? Yes, the last question of the night. Ready? Okay. How does one take mission and balance responsibilities and roles that we have in our lives?
I think mission is not something, I don't know, the person who asked the question is keeping this thing. You are going away for full-time mission. Then if you're asking the question in that way, it is different. Otherwise, my answer is towards a normal life situation when you are doing a mission, something. And what I'm trying to say, this is not something separate from your life. This is definitely part of your life. And we have some breakout session. Yeah, breakout session. And one of the things I was sharing, our main purpose of our life, we are convinced about the mandate to do the mission or to do evangelization. And a person who is married person, definitely a person has to search for the missionary endeavors with a conviction that I am a married family man. And if you are a seminarian, and a seminarian with a conviction about his life status, he is searching for, as a seminarian, how can I do the mission? Are you getting me what I'm saying? And it is not something run away from your responsibilities. Along with your responsibility and life role, you are searching for the missionary option where you can do your mission based on your life situation. Then this question is not relevant in that way. But definitely we'll have struggle, not because of balancing mission, because of prioritizing things in our life, balancing all the things. We have a general struggle that definitely it is there. And that we have to sort it out by our own. But what I'm trying to say, don't see it as a separate thing. And if your question is based on, if you want to go for a longer mission with a full time, a 1 year, taking away from all your family responsibilities, or you are going for a mission from all other things, that is different. And for that, definitely we need orientation. We need specific planning based on the person who is going for mission. That definitely the movement will help that person to balance the things and to make sure that things are taken care of when he is going for mission, if the movement is sending, that is different. I hope it is clear. Both situations are different.
Yeah, because it's awkward to talk about yourselves, I'll talk about Sindhuchechi and Sunil Chetan. Um, this was naturally a struggle, like, obviously for me when I travel so much. So I remember talking to Sunil Chetan one time about this, and, even for them, you look at their schedules, usually someone's traveling, they go anywhere where anywhere asks them, so generous with their gifts and talents. And, I'm nowhere near to that level, but I just think, like, how do you keep that balance? And, Sunil told me something that day, and he said that, that there is a sacrifice involved. If you think that you could do mission and do all these things just from the comfort without any sacrifice, then that's not mission. Mission demands a sacrifice. So don't think that there's an easy or comfortable way out of this. It demands a sacrifice, but at the same time, there's so much grace involved. When I look at Sonal Jain and Sindhu Chechi, and I look at the quality of their family life, when I look at their children, the graces that the Lord is pouring into Rosie and Johnny and Jesse and Gia and Tama, the way that they're coming up, and where so many needs are taken care of, and their education is coming along so well. Some of the most brilliant kids that I honestly know. And I think, like, and I asked Sonal Charan, so, like, how do you do it? Like, when you travel so much, he's like, that's not us. Like, we have nothing to do with that. That's just grace. And that's part of the grace of saying yes. It's part of the grace of taking that commitment. And I remember, having these own fears. And I asked Rosie one day, I was like, from your perspective, what was it like when your parents make all these sacrifices and commitments? Like, do you feel like you have to suffer or struggle a little bit? And she said, yeah, there is a little bit that we lose, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. That they grow from those experiences. They grow from those sacrifices. So don't think that, that if you sacrifice for the kingdom of God, that God won't provide the grace that you need to live out that call.
Thank you very much. So thanks for all the panelists. Thank you for all your contributions. We'll just end with grace, and then we'll be having dinner, and then adoration is at 8:30 sharp, so please come back. So we'll just start with grace. Everyone can stand.